Olivia, take it away.
Good morning, bonjour. Bienvenue à Toronto. Prime Minister, thank you for your tremendous leadership. You've been a friend of Toronto, and we've celebrated a lot of successes together. Building more housing faster, feeding more kids, and investing in public transit to get Toronto moving. And that goes to prove that we are stronger when we come together. And here today, I look around, look at us. It is leaders from business and labor and trade, government, all coming together as proud Canadians. Yes, proud Canadians. United together to face the threat of this senseless U.S. trade action. And yes, we are ready. It's my honor to welcome all of you here to Toronto. Hardworking Canadians are saying they're worried, they're anxious. They're worried about what impact it will have on their jobs, whether their lives will be a bit less affordable, right? But I know all of you leaders have their backs. That's what Canadians know to do, because that's who we are, supporting each other, caring for each other, protecting and defending our industry, creating good jobs. And coming Saturday, the February 15th, it is the Canada Flag Day. And Nathan Phillips Square at 10 o'clock, we're going to raise a flag almost the size, maybe even bigger. So come on down. If those of you that are in town at 10 o'clock, we'll wear red and white and show that we are proud Canadians. Canadians are looking forward to your deliberation today and the results of it as you plot the path forward to long-term prosperity and economic self-reliance. As proud members of Team Canada, we are ready. Let us welcome, well, already on the stage, let's welcome our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau.
Thanks, Olivia. Thank you for your welcome here to Toronto. But mostly, thank you, all of you, for coming together in this moment. This is a moment. This is a time in our country's history, in our time in our economic, but also our life as a country that really, really matters. And I want to thank every one of you for being here. I want to particularly recognize this incredible council that we've gathered, that we've been working with very, very closely over the past number of weeks. But one of the challenges we've had with this council is keeping it small enough so that we can have genuine engagement with top leaders from across the country, from different industries, but the idea that we'd love to have hundreds of people on the council, and that's exactly what this morning is all about. Each and every one of you being part of Team Canada right now to contribute and to help shape the conversations that Canadians are having right across the country. C'est un moment maintenant pour nous de se rassembler et de réfléchir et de façon tactique et de façon stratégique à comment on va rencontrer ce moment et comment on va pouvoir bâtir un avenir plus fort pour tous les Canadiens dans un monde qui, depuis plusieurs années, devient de plus en plus incertain. So what we're going to be focusing on is meeting Canadians where they are. And the place Canadians are in right now is, quite frankly, inspiring. How people have been stepping up over the past few weeks, sharing lists of how they can buy Canadian in their everyday lives. Reflecting on where they want to spend their dollars on vacation, whether it's Cape Breton or Banff or Quebec City. Thinking about how they can contribute as workers, as business leaders, as individuals to moving Canada forward in all the ways that matters. And individual Canadians, whether it's leaders on the council like Wes Hall, Arlene Dickinson, Jean Charest, or others stepping up to talk about this moment of pride in Canada and how we can pull together and take on this challenge and the opportunity that comes with it. And that's why gathering all of you here today to reflect on that, to pull together, and to chart a path forward for this country is so incredibly important, because this is Team Canada at its very best. Thank you for being here. As I said, I think we need to do two things in this. We need to both start thinking tactically and strategically. On the tactical side, we need to talk about tariffs. The 30 days extension been given on the border or fentanyl tariffs is something we need to use. We need to be very deliberate about how we continue to engage closely with the United States to make the case and demonstrate that Canada is responsible for a tiny part of the North American fentanyl problem, but that we are also bitterly touched by this tragedy. We also want to be part of solving for this. And over the next 30 days, we will demonstrate that even the tiny amount that is Canada's responsibility into the United States is going to reduce even further by working together, not just across our border, but internationally as well, to make sure that there is no reason to move forward with those tariffs 30 days from now. And that is a priority. But also tactically, if those tariffs do end up coming in, or if the investigation into commerce tariffs that are scheduled for April move forward, we need to be ready to respond robustly, as we are. We also have to be ready to support Canadians through the responses we're giving and through a difficult time of tariffs. That's something we have to talk about. But we have to keep in mind that our goal will always be to get those tariffs lifted as quickly as possible. That's the approach we have to have tactically around tariffs, that is focused on demonstrating the depth of the relationship, demonstrating that we can solve the challenges they're facing, but also make sure we're protecting Canadians and moving forward. Alors, de façon tactique, oui, il faut qu'on se concentre sur les tarifs. Mais il faut aussi parler stratégique. I think the strategic reflection we have to have right now is that we are in a moment that we have to meet for Canadians to see not just how we get through this particular challenge over the next 30 days or few months, but how we get through and thrive and grow stronger over the next 4 years and into what may be a more challenging long-term political situation with the United States. How do we make sure we are resilient as an economy? And for me, there's 3 areas we need to think about: Canada, the United States, and international. First of all, on Canada, it's about time we had genuine free trade within Canada. Vous le savez tous, il existe encore beaucoup trop de barrières à notre commerce interne d'un bout à l'autre de ce pays. La ministre Anand vient de rassembler les différents ministres du commerce des différentes provinces et territoires pour, après des décennies d'efforts par plein de gouvernements, réellement saisir l'opportunité qu'on a. Now, internal trade is something that we've been talking about, and quite frankly, the business community has been talking about for decades, as we have to move forward on it. This is one of those moments and opportunities where we actually can. There's a window open because of the context we're in. We have to jump through it. And it's not just about political will, because I can tell you All the premiers are united in saying, yes, let's do it. But there's challenges within bureaucracies that say, oh, but it'll be hard to recognize teaching certificates from one quarter of the country versus another. It'll be hard to get proper labor mobility, or there's a reason we have a specific tire requirement on our trucks for our province, or a specific need for a first aid kit in those trucks that differs from one place to the other. A lot of barriers that just don't make sense. But it's going to require all of us, not just governments, but business leaders as well, to step up and push hard and make sure that in this moment, we actually move forward on free trade within Canada that'll make us more efficient, more competitive, and give greater opportunities for Canadians, and not just individual Canadians, but businesses and suppliers to do business across Canada, east-west, and not just north-south that has always been easy and default until this point. So that's something I'm going to need all of your help on to push. Secondly, trade with the U.S. Now, there's a lot of talk about diversification. We'll get to that as well. But let's face some facts here. We are Canada. Geography means we're always going to both benefit and be challenged by trade with the United States. It's always going to be a big chunk of our economy. Can we be deliberate and strategic about where we're creating deeper partnerships that make sense, where we're looking at whether it's critical minerals that are going to be so essential for the future and that international suppliers are a little more unreliable on, certain countries are unreliable on, whether it's moving forward on energy and deepening our energy links in a positive way that actually solidifies those ties and makes them less vulnerable to the vagaries of politics. Can we be thoughtful and deliberate about the kinds of partnerships that enhance and create true win-wins, but also give us a little more protection against political rhetoric in the United States? These are things we can deliberately look at, that we are looking at, and certainly Minister Champagne is there engaging with that, Minister Wilkinson on energy and critical minerals. There's a lot of conversations happening that says, okay, we're always going to be trading with the United States. Can we make sure we're doing it from a position of strength and solidity and protect ourselves for the long term? Mais le troisième élément, bien sûr, c'est plus de commerce à l'international. Making sure we're taking advantage of the incredible trade deals that Canada has signed, most of them over the past 9 years, with 2/3 of the global economy. From CPTPP with Asian, South American, and one European country, with the UK joining the CPTPP, we have a tremendous opportunity to go where a big center of gravity of the economy is being pulled. But it's not enough to just sign a trade deal. We have to actually then follow up on it with trade missions, with actual investments, with partnerships. And that's why Mary Ying, our trade minister, who's not here today, is on her way. She's right now at the WTO in Geneva, and she's on her way to Australia and Asia to engage even further on another trade mission. We need to follow up on that. We have a free trade deal with Europe that has seen opportunities grow significantly over the past years, but can we do even more? Can we look at diversifying our supply chains so that we do have those opportunities internationally as well? You know, can we look at new markets that we're opening up? There's so many different opportunities and challenges we can get to that there is a moment right now that we all should be talking about. So what we're going to do this morning is we'll do a little bit of Q&A with the council that I will facilitate, and I'll answer a few questions from you guys as well. Then we're going to go and pull together in different groups to talk about sectoral impacts, to talk about Team Canada, so we can draw on your ideas and come together with even more plans and more solutions for how we move forward as a country. Because Canadians are watching right now. They're watching to see that our leadership collectively is able to meet this moment, is able to step up, is able to be there to say, this is Canada, we got this, and this is how we're going to do it. That's what Canadians want, that's what Canadians are counting on, and that's what I know we are all here to do, all committed to building. So thank you all very much for being here. Merci beaucoup. On se met au travail. So it's